including Series 13, some of the specials for Jodie Whittaker, and even the era beyond. So let's get right into it. So starting off, we're going to be looking at an article here about how Doctor Who star Mandip Gill shares her relief that Russell T Davies is taking over. Exclusive. The actor says it's good to know when the series is in safe hands. So we're going to basically pick this apart a little bit here, and here we go. We still have a year of what we're doing, Gill says. How much more before that even happens? Regarding obviously the actual leaving of Jodie Whittaker and herself and all of that. But from what I can tell, our Russell T Davies isn't, she doesn't necessarily have said that she just didn't like Chibnall. I think they've kind of put this here as like, oh, she's relieved that it's saved, the shit one's gone, that kind of thing. But the reality is, of course, I don't think that's the case. I think it's more that they've kind of done that as a little clickbaity title. It's more the fact that she's happy that it's in safe hands. Something I do want to talk about, which was similar to this article here, I will have a look if I can find it really quick, is an article about how they might stay on for after the 14th Doctor, during the 14th Doctor's run. I think I found the article, so I'm just going to quickly get that on the screen here. And that's basically what the bulk of this kind of news video is going to be about today, and talking about Mandip Gill, mainly Mandip Gill over John Bishop, staying on for the future of Doctor Who beyond Whittaker's era, which will be the first in the show's history, because no really proper companion has stayed on outside of another showrunner's era. So it'll be really interesting. Obviously, we've had companions over different Doctors' era, like Rose, like Clara, but no actual showrunners. So John Bishop and Mandip Gill says they could stay in Doctor Who after Jodie Whittaker's exit. It's a conversation to be had. While many fans have assumed Whittaker's exit means John Bishop, Mandip Gill, this is very true. They never said that those two were leaving, which is true. We all just kind of assumed they would. More so John Bishop, because he only stayed on Doctor Who, or he only came on Doctor Who because his tour was cancelled, because obviously he's a comedian. But maybe he's liked his time with Doctor Who. I think from the one show he seemingly enjoyed it, so maybe he wants to stay on. In some ways, this was so good, I wouldn't risk anything again. It's just so lucky to have the time with those people. Someone says, and Dan Lewis got a place with the new Doctor. You think it's a conversation we had, isn't it? Gill similarly said, never say never when it came to her in the future series, adding that she was looking forward to seeing Russell T Davies return as showrunner, which she just looked at before. Everyone's excited about Russell. For me, it's so exciting and a relief to know that it's going to safe hands. We just broke it down a minute ago. When I started, I didn't realise how significant it was taking over from other people, but now it's happening to me. You're not a part of it in that you know what's happening. Who's the companions? What are they going to do? I'm going to watch it, be nosy, and think, how is it different to ours? What I can take away from this is that they, both companions survive. If they seemingly can come back, then we know that they're going to survive. But also the fact that this could mean that she could stay on, because we know that Russell T Davies kind of likes the time as child, so he might be actually quite fond of the Chibnall era and might actually like a few of the things. So that could mean maybe one of those things turns out to be one of the companions, that being Dan or Yaz. I'm leaning more towards Yaz. And it seems that she doesn't know herself, that it's basically kind of waiting to say I've been let go or I've been kept on, which is really interesting, because I feel like if they 100% knew she was going, they would have got rid of her by now. So there is a chance. Joe Brennan, who I have done a podcast with on the channel, did an amazing video, you should go and check it out, about how it would be not really necessary, but it really helps when jumping from era to era to keep on a companion. And also in the podcast, we spoke about that in further detail, so be sure to go and give that a listen. Now, that's kind of that bit of news for today, but we're also going to be talking about two other things regarding the Dalek specials and just the general specials next year. So this is a video that I have coming out tomorrow. Dalek special, what to expect. Basically looking into what we could expect for the Dalek 2022 special and kind of what that could bring. Now, I think that, I'll obviously go into that more in the video, but basically I think that the Dalek special is going to bring either the Emperor, Davros, the creator of the Daleks, or perhaps, if we're lucky, maybe even a really nicely supreme. If we get the other two, I'll be chuffed. I just really want them to be redesigned, especially Davros, because he hasn't been redesigned for a while. If he's with the bronze Daleks, it's fine, that makes sense. But if he's teaming up with the other ones, then if we could get a redesign, that would be really great. And obviously the Emperor, he needs a redesign. Come on, he was literally turned into atoms by Rose Tyler. So, furthermore, obviously I've done another video talking about a double Dalek January special. As you can see here on the screen, I'll open up the thumbnail file. And this is basically speaking about a similar article. I think there was something that came up on it here. Here we go, on this kind of Radio Times advert. And there was a few versions of this advert here. One of them had all of the TARDIS team in that said January the 16th. And in the video over here about the Double Dalek special, I go into explaining why that date could actually be important. And the reasons why it's important could be is because if they are doing, well, what's really looking like, you know, following up escalation in TV media, you go from one thing, you get bigger, and then you go the bigger, and then it's done. So we have Recon Scout, loads of Daleks, Emperor kind of thing. So it gets bigger and bigger each time. So then if that's the case, we're going to need to obviously have, you know, enough time to do that. I don't know if an hour is going to be long enough to do that, especially if it was with Davros maybe switching sides or whatever. So then naturally you need to do that over two-parter. But having, you know, a special one story separated by like 4 or 5 months wouldn't really be the greatest, and it would leave, you know, maybe a bit too much anticipation. Maybe it would even kill off the hype. But having a 2-week gap from January the 1st to January the 16th could really be good for that hype. But I'm not going to say anything more on that, because there is this video here and the other one coming out tomorrow that goes into details about the Dalek special, so be sure to go and look those out. But there isn't much really released this week, except there's obviously articles about Yaz possibly staying on, and Yaz saying stuff about RTD. There was obviously the article about Jodie Whittaker possibly maybe not wanting to leave so quickly, maybe slightly regretting it. There's a chance she could be kept on, but I don't think she will, because they've announced she's leaving, and it will be a bit of a hassle to then go back on that. That's a real shame, because I think she would have done great under Russell T Davies. Let me know what you think. If she would have done great under Russell, I think she would have been amazing. Anyway, that's kind of it for this stream. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one, but like I said, there's not too much news yet. Not too much news this kind of week and today. But that is, of course, because as the date of recording this, it is currently the 27th of October, and Doc2 obviously starts on the 31st. So we're not going to get too much more now. I will be doing streams after each episode, so be sure to subscribe to make sure you're notified for those. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later. Have a lovely day, evening, or wherever you are in the world, and bye-bye.